Okay, so if we top deck a Vivi, we can still win this game. Okay, we're just taking it. Top deck Vivi, come on. Vivi. Okay, well, it's time to try. Vivi. And you're dead. Yeah, that was pretty satisfying. Yo, this is Tempo MtG, Charles here, back at it. I'm pumped about these bans that went down this morning for Standard. And I'm looking forward to exploring Izzet, but now without Corey Steelcutter. So basically, I want to build around Vivi. And even when Corey was around, I started exploring the synergy between Wild Ride and Vivi. Vivi, with the pump spells, you can really get out of hand. Where, for instance, imagine this. Turn 4, you have 4 lands in play. You play Vivi. You Wild Ride, targeting Vivi. Now you're up to 4 power with Vivi's trigger, 1 spell. So 1 damage to your opponent. Now, you use Vivi to make 4 mana. Use one of those mana and tap the Vivi to harmonize Wild Ride, targeting Vivi. That's 2 spells. Vivi's now up to 8 power. Then you use Shore Up, one of your floating mana, targeting Vivi. You're up to 10 power, 3 spells, and Vivi untaps again. Now we use 1 more mana to play another Wild Ride targeting Vivi. Now we're up to 14 power, 4 spells. We use that last mana to play a Sleep Magic or a Into the Floodmaw or even a cantrip. But let's just say it's a Sleep Magic to tap our opponent's creature. We're up to 5 spells. That's up to 15 power on Vivi. 5 spells means 5 damage to our opponent. We just tapped their only blocker. We attack with haste out of nowhere for 15. You know, it's sort of an ideal scenario, but that's a turn 4 win from nothing in play. So that is a pretty exciting scenario still. And in the previous version I built, I had Monstrous Rage as well as some other pump spells. So you could set up that turn 4 a little more often, but it's not necessarily about the turn 4. You have interaction, so you can use those Sleep Magics or those Into the Floodmaws to stall. And imagine this scenario. It's turn 5. You play Vivi. You Wild Ride Vivi. Then you flash back or harmonize the Wild Ride targeting Vivi using Vivi. And that Shore Up that I mentioned, or Magic Damper, which untaps your Vivi on these big turns, you could use that to protect Vivi as well. It does a dual purpose there. But just imagine your opponent tapped out. It's turn 5. You Wild Ride Vivi, harmonize it, and now Vivi's up to 8 power. Then you make 8 mana. You could use that to Magic Damper, to untap your Vivi, to stock up, to find some more removal, to clear out all the blockers, blah, blah, blah. Basically, what I'm getting at is the turn 5 is, it's not even as much Magical Christmas Land as that turn 4 scenario is. And beyond that, you have Storm Chaser's talent. So you could turn 1 Storm Chaser's talent, and then that just makes, if you do these big turns, it makes it that much harder for your opponent to survive, even if they've gained some life, or if they have a blocker, or it's also, beyond being interaction or something to block with or to pressure with early, when you make a ton of mana with a Vivi, if you get into more of a grindy scenario where you're just not killing them outright, you use all that mana you make to level up the Storm Chaser's talent, get back stock up, and just keep going through your deck. So that's the basic idea behind the deck. The sideboard is pretty untuned right now. I'm thinking Slickshot Show Off could come in against control matchups as just more threats, and on these big turns, you play Vivi, you play Slickshot. It's like too much stuff for them to handle, but I don't know. The sideboard's all pretty theoretical right now. I love Spell Pierce from blue decks. I'd be surprised if that comes out of the board, but Basilisk Collar, this is an idea where if you start going big with Vivi, you don't actually have to kill a red deck. You could just put a Basilisk Collar on it and then gain a bunch of life. Yeah, that's the basic idea. Where Fire Magic So I have a ton of sweepers on the board too, or four sweepers, 2 fire magic, 1 pyroclasm, 1 Brotherhood's End. They each have different benefits, so I'm just kind of putting a variety so I can test a little bit and see what winds up working out the best. The one thing I do really like about fire magic is I'm expecting there to be more blue, black, or black, the bat, Deep Cavern Bat, coming back around. And I like that if they bat, I can pay 1 mana with the ability on the stack to fire magic and take it out, and maybe take out another creature with it as well. Whereas besides that, a Deep Cavern Bat is potentially a little bit annoying for this deck. So, and that's enough said. Let's jump on the ladder and let's give this a spin. All right, we got our opponent. Okay, so opponent won the die roll. And yeah, this is keepable. We get to Storm Chaser's Talent on turn 1. Okay, likely blue-white control. I think I'm going to go with... Well, yeah, let's just go with Spire Bluff. I don't think we gain that much value by leaving the island and hiding the red right now. Because there's no stock Izzet deck anyway. They don't really know what we're doing. And conceivably, I could draw like 2 Spire Bluffs off the top or something. Ooh, okay, this is not blue-white control. Cast or some blue-white artifacts. Okay, cast one. Exile 1 or more other artifacts you control with total mana X. Return target artifact card with X or less from your favorite effect. Okay. Interesting. So I'm not really sure what's going on. But regardless, as I said, Spire Bluff. If we draw another Spire Bluff, then I could have gotten punished for playing that island turn 1. Let's lead with a sleight of hand here. Prowess trigger. You know, into the Flood Maws. I could see this going either way because we want to hit all our land drops, and if I stock up next turn. Yeah, I have 2 answers already, so I'm just going to go for this mountain. And then I'm going to play this Spire Bluff now. And then we're going to do it. So, yeah, it might be right to take the end of the Flood Maw. I don't really know what they're doing over there. But I wanted to be able to stock up next turn and confidently grab 2 spells and not worry about hitting my land drops at all, so sure. Okay, well, we're gonna go island, and we're gonna stop. Okay, no Vivi, but we found that into the Flood Maw. And we don't need more lands now, so we can just take the Impulse. Now we're going to go to combat, see if he taps our guy. Probably will. Okay. So this is probably that... Yeah, Knight of Battlefront. Exactly the card I was going to say. Deck. Let's see what they get. Makes me glad I have that 1 Brotherhood's End in my board at least. Wow, that was a bad hit. So playing around these with a Vivi might be interesting. But, yeah, so it goes. You know, I think I'm just going to play an island. Then we can go straight to combat here. And we're just going to level up Storm Chaser's talent post-combat. So yeah, let's get in there and see if he tops our guy. Alright. Yep. That's fine. Post-combat. We already have 7 cards, though. So, if we level up Storm Chasers, get back stock up, then we're discarding a land. I don't necessarily love that. We get Impulse. Nah, I'm just gonna level up. So get back stock up, and then we're gonna discard Sleep Magic here, I think. I just want to keep all our land drops still. Could discard Mountain, but no, I'm discarding Sleep Magic. So Sleep Magic could become useful to push through lethal, but I think at that point we're going to have drawn more cards, so I'm not too worried about that. Okay, repurposing Bay, so probably gives you to repurpose. Yeah, okay, so he's going to get the Simulate and Rum Synthesizer now. Discard 2. So we just really need to find a Vivi now, basically. And then, so if we find Vivi and a Shore Up can protect. Okay, we found Shore Up. So we might have to bounce one of these within the Flood Maw. Let's just go Island. We're gonna stop that right now. Yeah, I guess we're gonna take Impulse, and then we can take into the Flood Maw. Okay, let's see if he taps our guy. He may not. If he doesn't, I'm gonna probably attack and then Impulse. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Sure. So now the question is, do I discard another Sleep Magic? Or yeah, I guess that. Okay, so we have another land drop for next turn. We can Impulse into, hopefully find Vivi. Perilous Snake. Into the battlefield. Okay, so he's probably just gonna hit a creature, and then he gets a creature. Yeah. Okay, this is fine. Oh, he went for our Talon. Okay, that's fine. Right, so now we're gonna Impulse on end step and find a Vivi. Okay, still no Vivi. This is becoming a problem now. So let's Impulse Sorcery System. Still no Vivi. We gotta find a Vivi, so I'm just gonna... I could take the Sleep Magic for his creature, but I just need to find a Vivi. So I'm just gonna play this. Then see if he'll let me attack. If he does, I'll bounce his creature into the Flood Maw. Yeah, I think that's worth it. You can attack here, bounce this creature into the Flood Maw. You can't tap it again. I probably should have opted there too, but whatever. Okay. He should be able to repurpose. Yeah, that's fine. Guy. Yeah, we're just gonna let this happen. 8/8. And opt. Let's find Vivi. Sure. Opt again. Okay. Let's play a mountain and stock up. Jeez. Okay. I guess we could get 2 Storm Chasers talents. Just try to win with those? Like, this is a weird game. Yeah, I'm just gonna go for double Storm Chasers talent. I'm gonna lead with Sleight of Hand here. And then I'm just gonna play both Storm Chasers. I guess we'll take the second Wild Ride. Like, this is... I need to find Vivi. Another Storm Chasers. And we're just gonna pass the turn. So, we could... Okay, that's bad news. I think we have to, like, rip a Vivi, basically, here. Alright, so... that's gonna be 3... Yeah, like, why couldn't we just find a Vivi? We couldn't find a single Vivi in the first half of our deck. We've seen a lot of cards. And that's not just... We've seen much more than half of our deck. Because this is including stock ups and impulses that put stuff on the bottom. We've seen, like, a lot. He's probably going to attack. We'll just take it. Yeah, this is disgusting. Sure, tap my guy. Okay, so if we top deck a Vivi, we can still win this game. Actually, maybe. Maybe we can win this game if we top deck. Okay, we're just taking it. Top deck Vivi, come on. Vivi. Okay, well, it's time to try. Vivi. Wild Ride. Target Vivi. Then... another Wild Ride. Target Vivi. Wild Ride again, targeting Vivi. Yeah. I think the Floodmaw first. I think the Floodmaw. Targeting one of his blockers and then use. Yeah, that's slightly better. Okay, I'm gonna into the Floodmaw right now. Targeting one of these blockers. Then we're gonna Wild Ride, tapping this, targeting Vivi? Yeah. Okay. So now we can wild ride. Using... Wait, cancel. I have to do this for just 1 red. Actually, let's go 2 red. That. And then we're going to wild ride using Vivi, submit, targeting Vivi. Then we are going to shore up targeting Vivi. I think we got him here. Okay, so then we can do this. Turn. Into the Floodmaw. Floodmaw. That. Then do this. Wait. How do I full control this? Okay, this is fine. We got lethal, buddy. We got you. Turning into the Floodmaw. Floodmaw, target this, and you're dead. Yeah, that was pretty satisfying. Okay, so Brotherhood's End is coming in for sure. Spell Pierce comes in. Besides that, we probably don't need these sleep magics. Then maybe we can board out 1 land on the draw. Into the Floodmaw, I think, is still good here. I can't see what else I would really want. Maybe Slick Shot? Yeah, Slick Shot's the only card I can really think I might want otherwise. Into the Floodmaw, I think I'm going to need to keep those in. He could easily still have lockdowns. Lockdown's not even that much of an issue for me, actually. What am I boarding out? I could board out 1 land on the draw here. That's probably it. Yeah, let's just go for that. Alrighty. I'm assuming you're playing first, my opponent. Yeah, we can keep that. So we're gonna turn 1. We're just gonna pass the first couple turns probably, and then we may have an interesting decision on our turn 3 to either stock up or leap up interaction for our opponent's United Battlefront, which is the real card that can mess up stuff. So if we get a 4th land, by the time our turn 3 rolls around, I'll probably just wait to leave up the Spell Pierce. The other option would be to Spell Pierce this, but no, we're just going to let that resolve. This, and he could Battlefront here, in which case we could Spell Pierce and then stop him. Tap land. That is useful Spell Pierce. Okay. Island. And now we're just going to stock up and set up our turn. So I don't think there's much our opponent can do if we just set up our big turn. So I think I want to guarantee land drops here. I might just guarantee both land drops. We have everything we need in hand. So yeah, I just want to guarantee land drops here, because then next turn... 6, 7, 8. Stocking up next turn is not... Well, we'd have to discard a card, but that worked out for us last game, so it's okay. Double High Noon. Whoa. Okay. So, how do we even beat that? I guess we have to... The way we're going to beat that is by end of turn Flood Maw, our turn Flood Maw, then Vivi and go off, which is really annoying. But, yes, so it goes. There's that. Talent. Pass. So at least we're not under any pressure. Maybe we're under pressure now. Okay. It's not the end of the world. So he could turn that into a repurposing bay, which he should. Yeah. Double High Noon is so annoying for us. You can't even just find one. You gotta find 2 into the Flood Maws. Well, so it goes. Now we draw the Spell Pierce. That would have been... Well, he had 2 mana last turn, so we couldn't have Spell Pierced even. Whatever. Okay. We can stock up here. Yeah, I think we gotta stock up. I guess we'll take Opt and another Thundering Falls. Thundering Falls here. Toss that. And get in for 2. Okay, he could turn his 1 into a 2. I guess that's... What does 2s he even get? That's... This thing? Spring-loaded, 5 controls. Sure. Yeah, that's fine. We're still just gonna... If we win, it would be with Vivi. So... Perilous Snare. So, is this worth Spell Piercing? I think our Spell Pierce is getting worse and worse. We should probably just take this Pierce when we can. So now... Yeah, I'm just going to use this level 2. Get back that stock up. Thundering Falls. Sleight of Hand. Yeah, I'm just going to toss that actually, because I'm likely opting. And I'd just rather get the value of the opt and then stock up next turn. So you can turn this into another synthesizer, which means we basically have to set up... I gotta find the Into the Flood Maws. If we can find Into the Flood Maws, we can win this game. Okay. So he gets another synthesizer. That's a big token. Yeah. Okay, creeping into the flood, huh? Alright, so now, if I can stock up into another Into the Flood Maw. Yeah, but we're just dead. He has lethal on board now. Dang it. Why you gotta be such a loser, dude? Just let me play my game. So we're definitely taking Into the Flood Maw. Then... Island. Is there any way that we survive this? It's 21, so we'd have to play a blocker, or I could Into the Flood Maw one of his creatures, but then there's no way to get lethal. Yikes. Okay, so play an island. I can't play these, can I? Yeah, okay. So, I will need to discard. I guess... So he has lethal, so we have to flood on one of his creatures. I think we are just dead, but... Double this is so annoying. Ah, okay. Here's how we do it. I have to top deck... Oh. We can survive at 2, and then top deck Brotherhood's End. Okay, what's he getting? Oh, does this cost 2? I think we're dead now. Yeah. So I can only play one of these with Flood Maws, and we'll have 2 attackers. Okay. So, double friggin' card got me. Don't think there's much we can change. Like, we had the interaction in. I mean, gosh, I was hoping people just would stop playing High Noon after the freaking banning, but I guess this deck really makes sense. That's the deck that's still going to play High Noon. Kind of want to bring this island back in, but what do I board out then? On the play, we really want to hit our land drops. I need these Into the Flood Maws because he's going to have High Noon. Shore Up, actually, I think I can take out one of those. Or the Storm Chaser's Talon? Yeah, I think we can go down one Storm Chaser's Talon, actually. Because he has the removal for those, and that's not the card that's winning us the game. Okie dokie. Sure, we can keep this. Not ideal, but yeah, it's sure it's definitely not bad. Island, sleight of hand. We just really want to find our land drops. So I'm gonna take the impulse so that we have a play next turn to make sure we can hit our land drop or stock up on turn 3. Pass the turn, end of your turn, impulse. I guess we could actually... High Noon. I'm spell piercing the heck out of that. Whew. I was about to say there's nothing on 2 we're going to spell pierce. But my opponent proved me wrong. Talent. That goes to the grave because... Or the bottom. Because I really want to hit a land here. That's not a bad card. Okay, land. Boom. Boom. Okay, so here... I think this into the Floodmaw in case he plays another High Noon. Then I would like to continue hitting land drops. Sure. As long as it's not double High Noon, then we can win. Just don't double High Noon me, bro. Okay, so this is interesting. I think I want to Impulse first, actually. Because in the case that I would leave something on top, then I'm actually losing value from that Surveil when I'm Impulsing. So yeah, we're going to Impulse here. We're going to take Vivi. Spell Pierce would have been another potential option, but I think it's better to take Vivi here. Because we have this kill setup, and we have Thundering, Brotherhood's End, even if he gets a good United Battlefront to kind of clean up. So, Sleight of Hand. I think I'm going to keep that, because next turn I could Brotherhood's End and Sleight of Hand, and then hit a land drop, or more likely hit a land drop. Sure. End, but it's not time. If he hadn't played that Braided Net, we could have. Oh yeah, he has freaking High Noon. So yeah, I guess we still just take stock up here, and then we pass the turn, and then. Yeah, I mentioned 2 spelling multiple lines there. I just forgot about High Noon. But that's okay. Synth. Alright. That's okay. Resolve. This Brotherhood's End is probably going to be a pretty big blowout. So we want to Impulse 1 top, 1 bottom. Okay, so he gets a 2-2? Oh, no, he doesn't get anything now. Okay, so... Now we're going to Impulse. We just want to find our land drops now. Okay, sweet. So we can take Thundering Falls, and then... 2, 4, 6, 7, 8... 7... Wait, 3, 6. We'll get to 7, and we'll draw 8 for our draw step. We'll go up to 9 from stock up. Then we'll go back down to 8, and we'll discard 1. Yeah, I guess that's fine. Okay, so instead of stock up, we get Impulse. That might be better. Then we could Thundering Falls here. Yeah, but we should do it first either way. Yeah, this way we don't have to discard, so I think it's better. Impulse. I think I just want to keep hitting land drops. Or... No, I'm going to take Opt. Because here I can hit this land drop. Then, if I don't like this card on top, then I have a good Opt during my opponent's turn too. Yeah, I'm going to pitch this as well. Because we can still Opt to look for a land that comes into play untapped. I guess that's not the most... coming into play untapped isn't the most relevant thing here, but we can opt to find a land drop if we need it, and even if we miss off of that, we can still stock up into a land next turn. We're not under any pressure here, so... And as soon as we're under pressure, I just Brotherhood's end his whole world away. Maybe he has negate or something, but like... Sure. Okay, now he uses the Bay. Okay, so now he gets that 4-drop thing. Okay, yeah, this is all fine because now all of these have 0 cost, and then you pass the turn, we pop it end of turn, and then island. Do I keep this island? I think I do. Yeah, we just like to hit our land drops here. There, boom, draw a card. Now I get to play island, and I get to Brotherhood's End, destroying all artifacts. Pass the turn. Okay, that's fine. Can't do that. So I think we get to do a big Vivi turn now. Depending on what he plays. Spy damage to target creature and opponent controls. And then the flip side, tap 2. Okay, sure. Then what? Okay, just gonna... Okay, so, is this the time to go? If I into the Floodmaw... I think it is. We're gonna into the Floodmaw, gift a tap fish, targeting this. And then... passing priority. Then we get to Impulse. Okay, and then we get to take this other shore up. I think that's the play. Or an opt. Sleight of hand or opt better? I think the second shore up's better because then if we find another wild ride, we definitely have lethal. Oh, but it's lethal either way. I'm not sure. That might have been wrong. I was thinking about that a little too quick. But either way, we're going to Vivi here. Wild Ride, targeting Vivi. We're going to shore up. Ride, using Vivi, targeting Vivi. Then we're going to use Vivi's ability, make 2 red, 8 blue. Yep. Then we're going to start with an opt. How do I use the correct mana? I don't understand. Like how to... Like if I really full control, like I don't... How do I make it use a red? Whatever. That's something I have to learn. Oh, wait, no, it's allowing me. Perfect. That's pretty funny. Blue and... Yeah, I'm just gonna have 1 red floating now. That's resolved. Now we can take... Wow, that was almost disastrous. But... We're done. Okay. But we can still get him because we go into the Floodmaw, target his guy. 13, bounce, and then shore up, targeting Vivi, and then boom. Resolve. And then we go to combat, and that's our game. Alrighty, so there's your Vivi Storm. Yeah, pretty much as we wrote it up. Game 2 was annoying, but Game 1, we had a pretty rough draw there, where we didn't really find Vivi. In the top, like, we must have seen 45 cards and not found a Vivi. Because it was top half of our deck, but we had cast multiple stock-ups and impulses and such, and sleight of hands. So, that was pretty sweet to have that big comeback there at the end. And then, Game 2, we got blown out by the double freaking High Noon. We still almost found a way. And then Game 3, we still played against double High Noon. We got to Spell Pierce one of them, and then just set up the lethal through the other one. So, let's take a quick look at the deck. Considering we had Brotherhood's End there, and that arguably won us that game, I would expect artifacts in this new meta to grow in popularity. So I think Brotherhood's End might be the sweeper that you want to load up on. Maybe Fire Magic and Brotherhood's End is the way to go. I'm not sure we need these slick shots at all. Like I said, this sideboard, Spell Pierce was amazing there. So Spell Pierce has just always been great for me. I don't know if Ghost Vacuum or Soul Guide Lantern, like, okay, Ghost Vacuum, Oculus didn't really get anything banned, so that's got to be a good deck still. And then I kind of like doing a split, because then if you draw them both, one of them's not dead, you still get to play your Ghost Vacuum to sit and play and be really annoying, but then your Soul Guide Lantern, you can just cycle. So, I don't know, maybe just a Ghost Vacuum, whatever, you get what I'm saying. I'm just kind of spitballing. And then the Slick Shot Show-Off plan, that's something I really got to test more. I want to play against the blue-white control matchup and see what the post-board game, the texture of that game is. I have a feeling that Slick Shot's going to be good because, like, turn 2, they leave up mana, and then, or turn 3 or whatever, when they're expecting, whenever they leave up that counterspell, I don't want to just play into their counterspells in 1-for-1 and then run out of gas. When they leave up the counterspell, that's when I want to plot Slick Shot. You know, honestly, like, pretty interesting. I'm just trying to think about a heavy control deck. How are we actually beating them? And if they ever tap down too much, we can go off in one big turn. And I guess we can play the value game with Storm Chasers and stock up until then, but we might even want like a one of Cavern of Souls or something, but I guess they could just still counter the pump spells. But then at least I'm getting value on Vivi as I just play the pump spells and cantrips and such. So yeah, for now, let's just leave it like this. The 2 Brotherhood's End should be sufficient, because with as much as this deck sees, we should find one of the 2. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with this for now. I don't have time to play more right now, but that was a pretty sweet showcase of the deck. And please comment. Let me know. Do you want to see more of this, or do you want to see other standard brews? I've got plenty of other ideas that I want to keep exploring in this new standard, which I think is going to be pretty wide open and fun to explore for the next couple months. So yeah, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe if you really feel like it. I'd appreciate it a lot. And yeah, see you around. Thanks.